How did you turn your life around? Stopped caring about things I can't control and put all my energy into the things I can. It sounds hard, but there's actually a lot you can control, and that doesn't leave much room for the other shit. I got injured in a car accident, rear-ended, lost my business, and my wife of 19 years eventually left for another man, leaving behind a 17-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son. No job, no car, no money, 2 kids and $2K a month in rent coming due. 2 days after she left, I took my real estate license test. I passed. I had planned to surprise her, but had hid that I was studying in case I failed. Either way, it wasn't enough, and I ended up taking a job at Amazon. I worked a graveyard shift while my daughter stayed home with my son. I also did open houses on the weekend in hopes someone would walk in unrepresented. It still wasn't enough, so I signed up to drive Uber and Lyft. I had been able to pick up a decent vehicle from a family member for cheap, and I was in business. I switched my graveyard shift to a day shift and started driving through the nights. The money was alright, but I realized I could make a little more if I switched from Amazon to another large company in the area. So I did. I did that for about a year. Things were okay. I was making good money, and then Coldwell Banker fired me. I didn't think Coldwell fired anyone, as long as they were paying their dues. I had never sold a house, so all it meant was I needed to switch to another broker. Turns out that was a blessing in disguise. A friend called on my way to sign with Keller Williams and convinced me to sign with a temp agency. I was skeptical, but what did I have to lose? The first and second day I was placed with Toll Brothers. It was alright, and I could see myself doing that. On the third day I was sent to a local developer and my world was changed. The broker of record and the local developer took me under their wing. After a few months they hired me away from my temp broker, gave me a salary and commissions, and provided me with an opportunity to change my kids' lives forever. I was able to go from working 4 jobs to just 1, and I have learned more about myself than I could have ever imagined possible. It's been 3.5 long years, but I wouldn't change a thing if I could. When I was a teenager I was homeless. A lot of places wouldn't hire me because I had no experience or interview clothes. I went to the Board of Education and begged the our lady to give me a chance at any job. I told her I'd scrub the school with a toothbrush if they paid me. They made me a general sub for clerical. I took a call for one of the bad neighborhood schools that some others turned down. Walked across town to get there every day. I had to start walking at 4:30 AM to be on time. I wore dress clothes from a church mission that were way too big, but I did my best. After 4 months they gave me a long-term position, then a permanent one with benefits. I saved up enough for an apartment. Finding a landlord okay with renting to an 18-year-old homeless girl was hard, and started college. I haven't been homeless a day since in the last 15 years. I even have a house now. Quit a job that wasn't making me happy. Went back to college. Just literally handed in my notice at my shitty office job during a global pandemic / tanking economy to go back to college this September. I'm 29 and scared shitless. This has given me hope. Reading more and using social media less. I'm almost at the point where I can just delete Reddit. Almost. I quit drinking when I was 24, went back to college when I was 26, and graduated at 29. I decided to stop comparing myself to my brother and try to focus on the improvable. Paid off my debts slowly but surely and worked my ass off to buy a house. Took years, but it was worth it. Realized there was more to life than partying and waking up hungover all the time. Edit. I still think it's good to go out and have fun, but just make sure to do it in moderation. It's easy to get caught up in that life and forget what's truly important, like friends and family and taking care of yourself. I asked for help. I took my last drink of alcohol 2,079 days ago. Moving out of my parents' house. I was living with my parents, which is very common thing in India, until end of my med school. I've been in my comfort zone all my life and had everything I need. That led to depression and I wanted to live by myself and to get out of my bubble. Now I can't say I figured it all, but I definitely feel better. Decided it's okay to put yourself first no matter what. I don't mean that go ahead and cheat and lie for your benefits. For example, I was seeing this toxic person for some time and I was the one always compromising and making efforts. When things finally ended, I chose to cut off all contact from that person while they wanted to remain in touch for support or validation. I felt bad and selfish while doing it, but starting to feel better about myself now that that person is out of my life. You need to be selfish if the other person is being selfish too. Went to an army psychiatrist who focuses on PTSD. Can't upvote this enough. I'm glad you got the help you need. Find a 1996 Honda Civic with a clean title and low miles. Gave Facebook, TikTok, etc. a week off, then 2 weeks, then never went back. I heavily reduced sugar when I was 21 and started resistance training. 2 years later, and I'm feeling the best I have ever felt. Have so much energy and self-confidence because I actually like the way I look now. Clothes fit so much better as well. I grew up in South Florida during the beginning of the opioid craziness. From 2006 to 2011 things got pretty bad. I'm 2011 I sold my last possession. My car for $800, packed 2 suitcases, and bought a bus ticket to Denver. Never been to Denver. Didn't know anyone there, but weed was starting to be legal, and I didn't want to miss out. I detoxed on the bus going from Florida to Colorado. Do not recommend. I got lucky and ended up sitting next to a guy that was a grower and needed help in his garden. I didn't know it at the time, but on the Greyhound he said I had an 8-hour job interview. Got to Denver and he really helped me get established. Within 2 months I was sleeping on his couch and learning how to grow. Haven't touched a painkiller since I got on that bus almost 9.5 years ago, and now I'm married, homeowner, decent car, and working my dream job in the cannabis industry. It's not for everyone, but I literally went from homeless sticking needles in my arm to living a life better than I could have ever imagined. When you said lucky for you the guy next to you was a grower, I thought this story was going somewhere else. Went to the gym, it helped me break out of OCD induced psychosis and brought me back to reality, and have been going every day since. Had to replace it with exercising in the park during the peak of COVID though. Went to a sober living and got clean. After being laid off from my last factory job, I suddenly found myself on the streets of Toronto in the early 1990s with a grade 9 education. No money, no friends, no job references, and not really any family. So what did I do? Found an unbelievably dirty, crappy crawl space basement apartment. Applied for welfare. Stopped drinking and smoking and anything else unhealthy. Got a gym membership and went 4 hours a day. Jogged 5 miles every morning, weather permitting. Enrolled in an adult high school. Ignored everyone and everything that would be a distraction. Got my high school diploma with honors in 2 years. Applied for university. Got in. Moved to a different city and spent 4 years getting my BA in philosophy because I like to think and solve problems. Applied to a graduate program and spent the next 10 years getting my MA and my PhD. Then spent the next several years as a professor making good money and having lots of fun. Won't say how things are going now because I got cursed with poor health etc. And so I'm no longer working. I'll just say that I'm happy now and know that I would have ended up either dead or in jail if I hadn't done what I did all those years ago. Sooner or later everyone has got to take their life seriously. Edit. Holy smoke. Went and took a nap and woke up to see 10,000 upvotes. Thank you all so much for the awards and comments. It's going to take me a while to go through them all. Edit 2, read through the comments and tried to answer some of them. God bless all of you for the nice things you said. Started going to therapy. Slowly realized that I have to think about myself too. Started going to gym. Setting boundaries. Eating foods I like, and every day I tried to do one thing. That made me happy. And I finally got the courage to go to school and study something I actually like. Realized my quest to find love wouldn't fix anything wrong with me. Stopped manipulating and using men to try to fill the void in my soul. Treated men like people instead of tools. Actually fell in love and am married to the most wonderful person I've ever met. Edit. Thanks so much for the awards. Quite recently, I deleted Facebook. Deleted Instagram and Snapchat. I now only use Twitter and Reddit. I stopped making an effort to those who don't for me. I cut out the toxic people in my life and I surrounded myself with positivity and care. I wasn't happy. Lost weight. Shaved head. Got tattoos. Travel more. Complain less. Everything I do is for myself. I have a long way to go. If it's me trying to impress someone, it never sticks. You have to want to do it yourself. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.